Hey everybody, welcome back to Wirecast Live. We have a heck of a show for you today. We're going to be talking all about Facebook Live. We've had a lot of stuff going on in Wirecast and with Facebook Live, and I figured it was time to have a show dedicated just to our integration with Facebook and what all has been going on there. So, step by step, I'm going to walk you through all the cool little bells and whistles, features, and integrations that Wirecast has with Facebook today. So let's get into it. You're watching Wirecast Live. I'll be right back after these opening credits. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Wirecast Live. I'm your host, Andrew Haley, and it is Thursday afternoon, December 6, 2018, and we are here live on Facebook, on YouTube, every week. And today we're going to be talking all about Facebook Live and Wirecast. And so we'll get into it in just a little bit. I notice some familiar faces joining us today. I just want to say a shout out to some of you guys out there. I want to say, hey there, Greg. And let's see if I can pull your comments up on screen. I just want to make sure we've got that. So Deborah Lee, if you're getting that NDI signal from my desktop, throw those comments on there. There they are. And hey, Deb. Hey, let's see if we can get this one on there. Boom. And Greg, welcome. You guys, if you are new to joining us, please leave a comment in Facebook or YouTube. I can actually grab the YouTube comments. Let's prove that here. I want to make sure I can refresh that. Looks like Greg, you're the only guy I think who watches on both platforms. So I can get your comments on Facebook. I can get your comments on YouTube. It's so confusing. Either way, welcome. Thanks for joining us. And if you're new, please let us know where you're tuning in from. Say hi in the chat, either Facebook or YouTube. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you haven't, please share this out so that people can find us. If they are interested in live streaming or interested in live video production or any of the topics around that, this is a great show for them, as you probably know, because each week we try to talk about interesting topics or bring on guests who know a lot about live video or the things that go into live video. So please feel free to check out our backlog of shows. We have a great growing library of wonderful topics and guests and shows. I encourage you to look those up on our playlist on YouTube, or if you want to get notified of what our upcoming broadcast schedule is every Thursday at 2:30 p.m., you should go to telestream.net/wirecastlive and sign up for our email list. We won't spam you. We just let you know what are the upcoming guests and topics for the shows. Once in a while, we might send out a cool special giveaway or offer or something like that. Don't worry. It's not a huge amount of email, and it just kind of keeps you notified. And the nice thing is it gives you a link directly to that week's show. It also notifies you if we're not on the air. Speaking of our broadcast schedule, we are going to be here again next Thursday, the 13th, with Jimmy Young, who is a broadcast coach. I'm really excited to talk with him. He's going to be telling you guys and me how to improve your online camera presence. He's got a wealth of experience in broadcasting, years and years of training. He's trained some of the best broadcasters out there, and he can train you guys on how to be better with your on-camera presence. So I think that's something we can all learn a lot from. So tune in, mark your calendars for next Thursday for that show. And then finally, our fun ending show of the year. We'll close out the 2018 with a great holiday special bake-off. It's going to be a really fun episode. Deborah Lee and Alexis and some of the folks here have been planning, so it should be a lot of fun. I think we'll try to cut loose and just do just sort of some fun stuff. It's a good time to hang out, celebrate the holidays, end of 2018, bring in the new year. I think that's going to be a really fun show as well. So those are the next two shows. After that, we will be off for a few weeks for the holidays and to set up our show for the new year. So get ready for a whole new Wirecast Live coming at you next season. We usually take a little bit of a break to get ready for that the following year. So that is our upcoming schedule. And you have been informed. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Let's cover a few. I'm just going to tell you right now some of the topics that we're going to go over today in the broadcast and some of the tutorials I'll show you with Wirecast and Facebook Live. So first, we're going to talk about ambient streaming. We're going to talk about geotagging your Facebook streams, what that means, why you might want to do that. We're going to talk about live cross-posting, how that works, what to do. We're going to talk about 9 by 16 portrait streaming. So if you didn't know that's in Wirecast now, that is, as well as Facebook tallies for comments and likes. It's a great way to keep an eye on who's watching and how your stream is being received. And we'll talk about how to find your broadcast with one click inside Wirecast. You can always go right to your live broadcast on Facebook Live. There's a really handy little link for that. We'll talk about the Facebook donate button, and we'll talk about sponsored streams. So it's going to be a lot of stuff to cover because this is really all the types of ways that Wirecast integrates with Facebook Live. So hopefully each little bite-sized tutorial will be helpful for you guys. And as I get this question a lot, Eric, what headset am I using? Well, I am currently using the Countryman IsoMax headset. This is one of my favorite little headsets. If you go to countrymanandassociates.com, they have newer models. The E6 and the H6 headphone or microphone headsets are really great. You should check those out. Those are kind of the newer models of the IsoMax. They still have an IsoMax model. It just doesn't look like this. It's a little bit, they've changed sort of the shape and the form of it. So I think the E6 and the H6 are a little more like what this one is like, but it's a great little headset. And it allows me to wave my hands around and not have a microphone stuck in my face, which is something I prefer. And I think the sound quality is great for what we're doing. I want to say shout out to Lutz and shout out to Frederick from Sweden. Welcome. And let's see if we got some more comments on YouTube real fast. Hello, Comics and Stuff from Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome. I'm going to throw your comment up there. Thanks for joining us. And we have Macau Producciones from Desde Colombia. Un saludo. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for joining us, you guys. All right. So if you have questions, feel free to pop those in. I'm going to just clear my playlist here of questions. If you're curious what I'm doing, by the way, to bring those comments on, let's just show my desktop real fast. I've got the social tool from New Blue Tyler Live on my screen here, and I'm just pulling in comments every 30 seconds from Facebook and from YouTube. And I'm able to just see who's leaving comments, and then I can add them to my handy dandy playlist. So for example, Maurizio, hello from Chile. And then what this is doing is just controlling my Tyler Live title, where I have a simple social title, and this is all going out over the network via NDI. So Deborah Lee is then just pulling that into our Wirecast system and just putting it on a transparent layer above my camera shot and my desktop. So I can do stuff like this. If I press this to go live, it'll come on the screen. I'm going to poke above it, and then I can take it off as well. So pretty cool. We think this is just sort of the way we'll be doing stuff with comments in the future. Okay, hi from Edinburgh and LBM Braga from Amsterdam. Welcome. Thanks, guys, for joining us. And hello to everybody else. If I missed you, we'll come back. And again, if you have questions about anything I'm about to show you, please feel free to leave those in chat. I'll try to stop after sort of each mini topic, and we'll come back to the chat if there's something more specific you have a question on. All right, so the very first topic we're going to cover today in this video is we are going to talk about geotagging your Facebook live streams. Why would you want to geotag your Facebook live stream, you ask? Well, because it gives your broadcast a location on Facebook, and once you have a location, you can, in theory, appear on the Facebook live map, which is sort of a catch-all tool where Facebook has a all the broadcasts that are kind of currently happening on Facebook. So if you go to facebook.com/live/map, that will bring up a world map of sort of all the broadcasts. And you can see here, you've got Discover and you've got the live map tool here. And if it's geotagged, it can actually appear on these as one of these blue dots. The larger blue dots are the ones that are more watched currently than other ones, so you can see. And so if you scroll out, this is sort of a good way, in theory, for people who may not have ever found you or watched your content before to find your streams. It's also just, if you're bored and at home, it's a great way to just peruse around Facebook and see who's streaming and what's going on right now. So it's not, I'm not going to guarantee you're going to get new viewers. I can't even guarantee for sure that you will appear on this live map. In fact, you probably won't even see your own stream necessarily on this map, but others may discover it. Now, Facebook may filter this map and give different versions of it to different people in different locations, so results may vary, but you certainly will not appear on this map unless you geotag your streams. Now, if you're on your phone using the Facebook app, you should automatically have your stream geotagged. But with third-party softwares like Wirecast, geotagging your stream is something you have to do on purpose. So let's show you how to do that. First, you're going to go to the output settings in Wirecast. After you've set up your cameras and everything else and you're ready to stream, go to your output settings and select Facebook Live from the destination dropdown. Once you've done that, you just want to make sure you authenticate. You can see here I'm already logged in to my username and account. And then it's as simple as setting up where you want to stream. First, choose a profile or an encoding profile on what you're going to stream and what quality. Then just drop down here. If you have a particular audio track, if you're using Wirecast Pro, select usually track 1 is the default. That's fine. And then you're going to select whether you want to go live now or schedule for later. If you're going live now, that's fine. Choose if you're going to your profile, page, a group, wherever you're streaming to, all that's fine. And then choose, of course, the privacy, the title, the description, all that good stuff, all the normal things you would do with any good Facebook live stream. Then the final thing is this places section right here. This is where you will geotag your stream. So I'm currently in Nevada City, California. So let's just click that in, Nevada City. So that's how I would geotag this stream. Hit create. That will give us a new API to Facebook, which is going to be very long, and one of the sort of codes in that location is going to be sort of in URL speak be a geotag for that location. Hit OK, hit stream, and you've now successfully geotagged your live stream. And back in the Facebook Live map tool, in theory, other people may find a stream from your location. So it's unlikely you'll see your own stream, but you can see some folks. Oh, there we are. We appeared on the live map. How about that? So that's how you would appear on your own Facebook live stream. So keep that in mind. And actually, it looks like there's 2 streams now from that location, and one is my stream, and one is this broadcast right now. And you can see that the sort of larger dot is you guys watching this, and the smaller dot is was my stream right there. Does that make sense? So this would be a cool way for random drive-bys or drop-ins to sort of see who is streaming and may find your stream. It's a great way to increase your discoverability for your Facebook live streams. So that's geotagging in a nutshell through Wirecast. Thanks. All right. Any questions about that before we move on to the next topic, you guys? Okay, so the next topic, let me take a sip of my tea. Okay, let's talk. In sort of this next section, I want to talk about what would make the most sense to show you guys. Let's see. All right, let's keep it simple. All right, in this section, let's talk about ambient live streaming. What is ambient live streaming? Well, ambient live streaming is a form of streaming to Facebook that is 24/7. It's like non-stop streaming. The thing is, Facebook doesn't record it because it could be, in theory, unending. And so they would not record, 200 days of a live stream. It would just be too much video to record. So pick ambient streaming if it's a low impact stream that you are planning to keep running for a long period of time, say more than 4 hours, and you don't need the recording of it. This would be great for something like an eagle cam or a zoo cam, or if you want to watch flowers grow or a fish tank. There's so many different things. Here at Telestream, we actually have every year a goose, a mama Canadian goose, who comes and typically lays a nesting pair that raises their babies here locally, and we did an actual live stream of our goose cam, and that was a great example of the ambient streaming use or feature on Facebook. So we used that, and we kind of recorded some of our own clips of it, but you wouldn't necessarily find a recording of the goose cam out there because it was an ambient live stream. So that would be a good example. So in order to turn on ambient live streaming, before you do that, you want to make sure that your network connection is really solid. You're not going to have a lot of interruptions. Other people aren't going to be using your network because that could cause the stream to drop out or just have errors. And secondly, you're going to want to make sure that your system is really solid. You have a power supply backup. If the power goes out, maybe you have some redundancy in place. Because again, your camera or your computer system could go down on you if you're not watching things carefully or preparing in advance. Other than that, 24/7 ambient live streaming to Facebook is totally a fun thing to do and great for certain use cases. So let's look at how to set up an ambient stream on Facebook. First, go to the output settings again. This time, again, log in to your account if you haven't already. Choose Facebook Live from the destination dropdown. Log into your account, choose the page or profile you plan on streaming to, and then go to the Advanced Options button here and select your stream type from the sort of advanced options here. Now, if you have a profile, we may go into, let's try my page here, choose the advanced options, choose your stream type here, whether it's regular or ambient. Ambient streams will generate a continuous live stream of unlimited duration, but there will be no VOD. So Wirecast is telling you that you're not going to get a recorded version of this. Once you have your ambient stream selected, you're done. Hit create, or you can schedule it for later depending on when it's going to start. And we're good. Hit OK and start streaming. Okay, so how do I find my ambient stream on Facebook? Well, there's a really easy way to find any stream to Facebook right out of Wirecast with just one click. So if you go, once you're streaming to Facebook, you actually go to the output settings and you go down to Facebook Active Broadcast. Click that link. It will automatically launch a browser with a link to that stream, and you can verify that you are successfully streaming from Wirecast to Facebook. So that is how you will automatically see any stream that's currently going live. See, there you go. So that would be the ambient live stream out of Facebook Live, and that's how you can find any broadcast with one single click. So yeah, hope that was helpful, you guys. That's how you do ambient streaming, and that's how you find one single, and that's how you find any output to Facebook from Wirecast with just a click. All right, let's check in and see if you guys have some questions about any of that. I'm going to just re-poll here, see if there's any questions. Let's take some of these first. Will we be at CES next week? We'll be at CES next week or next month. No, we will not in a booth, although we may send some folks out there just to meet with resellers or hang out in some of our partner booths. So there could be some Telestream folks out there. Let's see, we have hello from Thailand. Welcome. Nice loop in Andrew's Wirecast. Yeah, but maybe there is a loop. I'm not sure if you're talking about, maybe you're talking about my video loop, Lutz. I'm not sure. But thank you for saying so. How easy is it to stream to Facebook Live and YouTube? The way you would do that is either just using one of them as an RTMP destination. So that's totally possible if you're curious. When you choose an RTMP destination, it's really up to you where you stream it. So if you want to stream on more than one destination or more than one location or your own servers or your own website, the RTMP destination out of Wirecast is a great way to do that. Okay, so I think that's all the questions we had about what we've seen here. Let's see. Okay. Mexico in the house and Chile. We have a lot of folks from South America here today. Welcome, and Australia. All right. So next we're going to cover, so we've covered ambient streaming. We've covered geotagging, and we've covered how to find any destination or any live stream to Facebook out of Wirecast with just a single click. In the next section, I want to show you guys how to stream to Facebook using the portrait mode or 9:16. This is a great way to stream to Facebook in a mode or a format that's perfect for phones and mobile viewing. Many people have done studies on the types of streams you can do to Facebook, and a lot of viewers prefer to view and interact from their phone and from mobile. So if this is important to you, or reaching a certain subsection of your Facebook audience in a mobile format, mobile-friendly format, is important to you, then this is a great way to do that from a powerful switching software like Wirecast. Let me show you guys how to do that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is change your canvas size in Wirecast to reflect this size. So first go to your canvas size. Make sure, of course, you're not streaming or recording or anything like that. Go to your canvas size and choose a vertical 9:16 size. So obviously this automatically squelched or scrunched my assets there. So what I want to do here is just come here and make sure that all this stuff is not necessarily restricted in that form. We're going to just go to reset position, and I'm going to come to the other one, and I'm going to reset sort of the swirling blue. Although I guess that one doesn't matter as much. It's more the Wirecast logo that I'm concerned about. I'm then going to scale it down, and I can actually do like a scale to fit if I want to. So that'll automatically pop in. Up to me sort of what size I want to do that, but I think that's fine. We're going to do that size. And then again, similarly, if you've got a camera in there, you probably just want to do a scale to fit, and then you can stretch it up. You'll have to play with the cropping, because obviously most cameras and sources are not ideal for the vertical dimension. But once you have all the tools and the controls you want in there, and I may scale me down just a little bit, bring myself to the bottom. Okay, so you've got your assets the way you want. You now have your vertical canvas. Wirecast is sort of composed the way you want. Your shots are ready. You're ready to stream to Facebook in vertical mode. Now, go to your output settings again. Select Facebook Live if you haven't already from the destination dropdown, and log in. Once you've logged in, now choose whether you're going to schedule live or later. This is the most important step up here, the encoder setting. Make sure that you encode in the vertical size. So here in the dropdown, we have now a preset for vertical streaming to Facebook. Okay, so 9:16, this will match your canvas output, and it won't squeeze or scrunch anything that you've got going on, or stretch it if you forgot to do this and you left this as a landscape output, but your canvas is vertical. All right, same thing as the same drill as everything else. You're going to go and select your page or profile that you want to stream to. Then you can choose whether it's public or private, and I can do a vertical and hit create. That'll create the link. We'll hit OK, and we're going to start streaming. And we'll take ourselves live right there. And now we are streaming vertical video to Facebook. Let's go again using our handy trick up in the output settings to find our active broadcast. Click that. That'll open a link in a web browser or your default web browser, and it'll take you straight to the correct location. And there we are. We are now streaming vertical video to Facebook live using the preset and using Wirecast. And we have all the normal production power and switching horsepower that Wirecast offers you guys. So don't think that just because you're using a sort of landscape system that uses landscape cameras that you can't serve up very targeted mobile-friendly content to Facebook. All right, that was vertical video to Facebook. I'm now going to stop the broadcast, and I'll say bye if you're watching this on Facebook, on my profile, and I'm just actually going to just transition myself out, and we'll stop the broadcast there. Any questions about that? Does that make sense? Okay. I do see a few questions here. Could you do a, let's take this one here. This is from David Cook. Could you do a portrait to a mobile and box it to be landscape to computers? So David, the question here, I think, is could you do both, right? Could you set it so that maybe you're vertical here and then you're also sending a portrait out to Facebook, or maybe you're sending two different streams? You could. You're going to run into maybe some composition issues, but certainly there's no reason why you couldn't adapt maybe two documents or two systems to be sending out. The only issue I would see is that you would either be optimized for one or the other and not ideally for both. And typically what's going to happen with any of the encoding outputs that you select, the encoder is going to just squish or stretch whatever your canvas size is to fit the requirements of the other ones. So it's not going to do it smartly necessarily, and there's no like letterbox selection or stretch to fit in the encoder settings. So all that is sort of managed through the canvas size and whatever you're doing in the canvas. So in order to get the optimal results in both portrait and landscape, you would need to sort of have two different canvases and two different encoded outputs, if that makes sense. Trying to do it all with one, I think the encoder would not be intelligent enough and has no option for letterboxing. So keep that in mind. Good question, though. Can you show us how to make the output video clear and great quality? That is a tricky question. So there's no correct answer there, Stan. Happy Stan. It's a great name. So your results and quality are going to depend on a number of factors. So first, they're going to depend on your lighting. Like lighting, I think, is just a very simple and affordable way to really increase the quality of your video. Your camera quality and lens quality, the better the camera, the better your sort of video signal that you start with, the better your results will be going outwise. Sometimes you can have a fantastic quality camera, but if you don't just double check what the computer or the capture card is capturing it at, you can get muddy results. I'll show you what I mean by that. So here's a good example. This camera is coming in through a capture card, and I can actually jump back to sort of the standard canvas size here. So let's just go back to a 1920 by 1080. See, not totally stretched it again. Let's go back to the scale to fit. Okay, there we go. So here it looks clear and it's fine, right? But that is because the camera's actually coming in at the correct size and settings. But when I was first looking at this, the camera was there, the capture card was there, and I was noticing that this was really fuzzy and it was really sort of pixelated and bad. I was like, I know my camera's better than that. It shouldn't look this blurry. What's going on? So you just want to come in and double check that Wirecast or the capture card is coming in is grabbing the signal at its full quality. If you see any of the lower resolutions like 640 by 360 or 180 by 240, sometimes there's a webcam, it'll grab it at a low resolution. Just double check that and make sure it's grabbing it at the best possible resolution it can. That is a big deal. So even if you have great lighting and a great camera, make sure that the signal is getting its way into the system correctly and at the right resolution. And then the final thing you want to do to improve the video quality is to make sure that your system is not too taxed or stressed when streaming. So, and let me just jump back to my background here, background assets. I'm going to do scale to fit and another scale to fit. Okay. And let me take this question off, Stan. Okay, now, so once you've got the sort of everything sort of baseline set, your next step is to just test your internet connection speed and make sure that you can send a high quality video signal without drop or loss, or that your computer is up to the sort of the task of compression for a nice quality signal. If your bandwidth is too low, let's say it's maybe 2 megabytes per second upload or 3 megabytes per second upload, that may cause issues with a 720p HD stream. So you may have to drop that down to a 640 or a 540 or something, going out. So be aware of that. And then finally, if you have enough bandwidth but your computer is just not up to it and you're sort of pushing 80 or 90% CPU when you're trying to encode a 720p stream or a 1080p stream, you'll want to back that off to a lower setting or try hardware encoding. A lot of people don't realize this. Another sort of tip here to lower the sort of hit that your CPU will take is to just come in here and see if you have some hardware encoding options. This computer doesn't at the moment because I'm not using a graphics card that can do hardware-based encoding, but many of you do. If you have a quick sync graphics card from Intel, or you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can take advantage of that, and that will lower, you can do a really nice 720 or 1080p stream out, and it won't hit your CPU or bog down your computer nearly as much. So those are some good tips. The final thing is to sort of, actually, if you really want to start testing, is get into the encoder presets here, start messing with maybe your bit rate if you have the bandwidth for that, mess with your profiles. Sometimes you can get a better result from a main or a baseline or a high profile, depending on what kind of cameras and sources you're doing, and then how often your keyframes are going. All that can help. Also your profile, your encoding profile. So do some tests, see what works, and pick the best results that you can get on your internet, on your computer, with your particular content type, if that all makes sense. So it's a subjective question, but I hope I kind of gave you some ideas there that will help you get going. All right, so great question, but we still have a lot to cover, so I want to jump in and cover some of the other Facebook Live topics that you guys might be curious about. Okay, so let's talk about live cross-posting. Live cross-posting is when you send one stream to Facebook, and your page has a relationship with another page that allows it to stream your content at the same time on their page. So you can basically get twice as much bang for your buck. You can distribute your stream to twice as many audiences or page audiences, which is a fantastic way to increase your reach and do sort of co-sponsored streams with people that may stream types of content that you are interested in, or that you have the same types of audience, all that stuff. So live cross-posting is a really strategic way to increase your viewership and your audience reach, as well as serve up content to people that may be interested in it across many different pages. So how would you do that? The first thing you need to do is go to facebook.com and make sure you have a cross-posting relationship with another page. So let's go to, say, my page here, and I want to go to, say, my page settings. Then go to down here, and you're going to see this section here that says cross-posting, okay? So it has to be a page. I don't think you can do this with profiles. Click on cross-posting, and then enter the name or another page that you have a pre-existing relationship with. Make sure you've reached out to these people or other people that you've talked to. Maybe they might be more than one page that you own, but give the sort of enter it if there's something. So we might say the ScreenFlow page, right? So I might ask for permission to cross-post. So entering into a cross-posting relationship with ScreenFlow will, for non-live videos, allow both of you to cross-post to each other's eligible videos by going to the video library. So I can actually post VODs. And then I can do live videos. I can allow ScreenFlow to cross-post their live video to my page without further approval, or I can require ScreenFlow's cross-posted live videos to be approved by me. So I can give basically permission for my page to be cross-posted to from the ScreenFlow page. That is probably for now, because I don't know why the ScreenFlow page would necessarily want to cross-post to my page, but maybe they would sometimes. But I probably don't want them to do it without my approval or permission, so I'm going to require approval. But similarly, ask whoever you want to cross-post to their page to do this same thing. Have them go to their page settings, have them enter your page name, and then choose a relationship level for the cross-posting. And once they've done that, you will see them as a potential cross-posting option inside of Wirecast. What do I mean by that? Well, let's go see what that looks like. So here we go. We're going to jump back into Wirecast and see what the cross-posting option looks like within those streams, or within the Wirecast output settings. So first, go once again to Output Settings, select Facebook Live from the destination dropdown, and log into your account. Now, choose a page or profile that you're going to be doing cross-posting. Again, it has to be just with pages. I'm going to choose my Andrew Haley page, and I'm going to see if I have any cross-posting relationships set up. Well, let's check it out. If you have cross-posting available, you can then check the Telestream Wirecast page, and so that's what I'm going to try to cross-post to here right now. We're going to hit save, and I'm going to say live cross-post. Live cross-post. All right, and that's it. We're going to hit create. We're going to probably not do vertical. We're going to jump back to the 720p 30, although if we were doing vertical, that'd be great. And it actually reset my title there, so live cross-post. Live cross-post. All right, and we're going to hit create, and here we go. Once it's done, I'm just going to double check that we're good there. Yep, hit save. Okay, cool. And once that I did, because it may have changed any settings, I just need to refresh my create link. Here we go. We're going to hit OK and stream. So now the cross-posting stream is I'm now streaming live to my Facebook page, and then the Wirecast page should be getting a notification that Andrew Haley wants to live cross-post. So let's just go see what that looks like. Let's go back to Safari real fast here, and we're going to go to, say, the Wirecast page. And we'll see if we have a notification here from, let's just check and see if we have the notification here. Or if I'm actually live cross-posting, we'll see that. So today I'm going to go back to maybe the page itself. I think I may have just given myself carte blanche to do this. So there's my stream right now, which you guys are watching this demo on. And I want to make sure that we're actually, if there's a live screen here. Let's double check if I did that right. Come to the settings, go to cross-posting for the Wirecast page. And these are originally, okay, so I should be good here. You'll also see a list of requests for the other pages that you may or may not be able to live cross-post to. I just want to make sure that I'm doing, so we're good here. Let's go to the live output right now. We're going to go to our Facebook active broadcast. I'm wondering, it may be possible that maybe I can't do, because you guys are, okay, here we go, live cross-post test, that's mine. And let's make sure that so that should be live possibly on the other page here. But it's possible that because we're already streaming live to the Wirecast page that we can't do a simultaneous live cross-post test at the same time from a secondary video. Yeah, I don't see it. So if that's the case, that's possibly the reason it's not working. But basically, that's sort of the process. So go through that. I may actually test that when we're not live on Facebook, just to make sure that that is in fact how that works. I didn't see any notifications on the Wirecast page that's telling me that I can't, or that there's a request coming in from a live crosspost. So I'm sort of leaning to the fact that I think that's probably, there's no issue there. That's just how you would do it if you want a live crosspost. Double check that, make sure that works. But typically I don't crosspost my content to the Wirecast page, but I'll try that after this broadcast just to make sure that it's working. If it doesn't work, or if there's some reason or something I didn't show you, I will post another video on how to correctly do that. But I'm pretty sure, 90% sure, that's how you do it. All right, any questions about that, let me know. But basically, just to review, go to your page settings, check your crosspost settings, and then enter pages that you want to have a relationship with that can crosspost to your page. So basically you can give them permission to crosspost to you. And then similarly, you should talk to the page owners that you want to work with, have them go to their crosspost settings for the page, and then have them add you as another crossposter. And once they've done that, you should be able to see that right within Wirecast as a cross-postable page or eligible page. Okay, so that's live cross-posting on Facebook, and we're getting through our topics for today. I'm going to now go back to you guys with the comments. If you have any questions about that, I'll pull those up, and then we'll sort of finish out with our last two topics, the Facebook donate button and the sponsorship. So we'll cover that in just a second. We cross-post stream all the time. You have to establish it before streaming. Yes, that is absolutely true. Make sure you establish that cross-posting relationship before you start streaming, and probably give yourself a day or two at least, because sometimes you get all that permission stuff, but it takes a little while to filter through the Facebook system. Greg Cooner uses Rendezvous every week without issue. That's awesome, Greg. Happy to hear that. And let's double check our YouTube folks. What frame rate do you use? I'm assuming that you are talking with each other there. That's an internal YouTube conversation. This is a good question. What type of computer is better for Facebook Live via Wirecast, PC or Mac? So this is the common question I've gotten a lot over the years. What should I use with Wirecast, a Mac or a Windows computer? So the answer to this is whichever you're most comfortable with. Just be aware there are some trade-offs depending on what system that you pick. Mac, by sort of virtue of being a Mac, is often going to design and build their computers very specifically, and will not allow them to be customized or opened up very easily in any way. And also, because they like to make their computers very slim and trim and beautiful, and they look great, and they also like to pack very powerful hardware in there, they typically will do what's called thermal throttling, which means that if their components get too hot at a certain point, if you're working the computer really hard, and video does work a processor, a CPU, and your graphics card very hard, they can slow down the clock speed of the sort of computer, of the hardware. The software, the system operating software on a Mac will sort of keep an eye on the temperature inside the Mac and then slow things down and interfere a little bit to keep things cool, because there's only so much cooling they can do on those computers. You could take maybe the same hardware that's in a Mac and put it in a much larger case with much more cooling options, and you could probably run it and get more performance out of it in a different sort of chassis or case. So it's very possible to overload Macs simply because they don't have sort of as much cooling options as you might get from the same type of hardware in a PC that maybe doesn't look as pretty, maybe isn't as sort of slim, and doesn't have as good of a form factor, but it has much more air and much more cooling. So that's just something to be aware of. Video tends to be a sustained read and write process, it doesn't stop. We're hitting your CPU or your GPU with 30 frames per second nonstop for however long you're doing video, and that can be hours at a time. That's a lot of sustained use for a computer. Most applications will typically do burst, right? You'll hit the CPU or the GPU for just a little while and then it'll slow down. Or if you're doing photo editing or browsing or whatever, there's sort of moments where things are going really high and then it cools back down and slows back down. Video is not quite like that. You need a system that can kind of handle that sustained load over time, and so that is just something to be aware of. We use Macs a lot here at the office. We like them a lot, but like I said, there may be times when they may not be as performant as a similar PC with the same specs, but more cooling or sort of a different form factor. So just be aware of that. Other than that, I would say it's totally up to your preference. PCs are great as well, and you can typically get a as powerful machine or better for the same cost or much less than you could buy a Mac for. So the other thing is you can typically open a PC and modify it a little bit more than you could with an Apple computer. So other than that, our developers work really hard to make the PC and the Mac versions feature parity. Feature parity. So they should have all the same options, all the same goodness on both systems. Keep that in mind. The only other thing I would recommend is your hardware encoding options on a Mac are, again, a little more limited than on a Windows computer. This is because Apple, again, locks down that OS system, and so we access, say, the GPU encoders through what's called the Apple encoder or Apple hardware encoder, which is really a sort of a version of QuickSync that limits you to, I think, one encode and one decode on Apple. So you may have an Intel graphics card, a QuickSync graphics card, or enabled graphics card, and on a Mac you could only do one encode and one decode on that. Whereas on a Windows computer, I don't think there's a limit necessarily. You may get varying results once you add 2, 3, or 4, but it's not gated off the way it is on a Mac. So there's certain options on Macs that the operating system is kind of blocks off or locks off, as opposed to on a Windows machine where it tends to be a little more open. You tend to have more access to the hardware components in many cases. Okay, that was my spiel on Mac versus Windows. Hope that answers your question. Okay, well, let's dive into our final two topics for today on Facebook Live. So first, we're going to talk about sponsored live streams on Facebook. So in order to, what is a sponsored live stream? What do I mean when I say sponsored live streams? A sponsored live stream is when you have a post on Facebook that, and let's just do a quick search here. Sponsored live stream, Facebook Live. So this is only available to verified pages with a blue check mark. So you must first have a page that is verified in order to do that. Then let's go back here, add press espresso. You will notice when a Facebook ad occurs, or a sponsored ad occurs on Facebook, that it will have a little with tag or a little like handshake icon saying that this is a officially sponsored post on Facebook Live. So if basically it's a way that Facebook lets the viewers know that this is an advertisement and it's who it's being advertised from. It's a way to monetize your content, which is fantastic. You can make money and have sponsors. So let's say if you have maybe a health or a sports drink company that you're working with and you want to do some content for them and you have a verified page and they have a verified page, you could post or stream live and attribute that post to them, and then they could pay you money for that. So you can make money off of your content. And what's great is your sponsor can actually view the statistics from your post. They can see how many viewers you got, how you did, all that good stuff. So that's a really sort of great feature that's available to you guys, and you can do right inside of Wirecast if you have a verified page. So keep that in mind if that's something you want to do. So let's look at actually how you would create a sponsored live post inside of Wirecast. First, again, go to your output settings. Once your project is set up, your cameras are sort of set up, everything is good. Then select your Facebook Live destination from the drop-down as always. Make sure you've logged in and authenticated to your Facebook account. And now what you're going to do is choose the page that you want to stream to. Again, it has to be a verified page. So we have this handy filter here which will show only your verified pages, in this case just the Wirecast page. And we could call this a sponsored post. Right? And then under your advanced options here, you will see a sponsor tag here. All right. Now, you'll see that I think we're going to do a regular stream, and I need to possibly refresh here. Let's go to our advanced options. I think what's happening here is I probably just need to close the document. Close this document and open a new one. Okay, so let's just come back in here and make sure that we can do this. Again, select Facebook Live, hit OK. Make sure you authenticate. You can only show verified pages. Let's go to sponsored post test. Post that in there. Click your advanced options. So here you go. You should see this field available. So now you would find your sponsor that you may want to consider, having been streamed. So we might, for example, say this post is sponsored by Nike, right? If they were in fact a sponsor. So we're going to set as sponsor with Nike, right? We might look for PTZ Optics, right? So let's look at the PTZ Optics sort of sponsor. We're going to do a regular stream. Hit OK. PTZ Optics, of course, are the manufacturer of the cameras that we work with and Wirecast is very compatible with. Hit Create. And hit OK. And hit Stream. So once it's been streamed, once it starts streaming, we're going to go to our one-click trick to find the actual active broadcast. It's going to take us to the page where we are streaming. And you can see here that this is our sponsored post, right? So here you can see Telestream Wirecast Live is live now with PTZ Optics. This is the ad, sort of the thing that says that PTZ Optics is the sponsor of this post, right? You can also see that it's published by Wirecast and it is a paid partnership. So this would be sort of telling any viewers that this is in fact paid content. You can click on that if you have questions. What do they mean by that? What is that? You click on PTZ Optics, it'll actually show the page. And there you go. You go to the PTZ Optics page. So that is how you could work with a sponsor for your content. But again, make sure you have a blue check mark. You have to go through that whole process before you can actually get you can start posting sponsored content through onto Facebook. But you can easily do that using the built-in Wirecast tool for sponsored live streams once you have that check mark. All right, really easy. Okay, so go out there and start earning money with your Facebook Live posts through Wirecast. Okay, so that is our quick tutorial of our that's our quick tutorial of Facebook Live sponsored streams. The final thing I want to talk about is the donate button, or the donate option on Facebook. So how do you get, how can you accept money for donations for charities inside of Facebook? It's really a cool thing that Facebook is doing. I think it's being rolled out to just about anyone who wants to do it. You just have to apply and get permission or approval for your page to accept donations for a cause or for a 501c3 or a nonprofit. So first thing you want to do is apply and get a charity ID number from Facebook. So you can Google search Facebook donate button. And you can see a number of places where it'll tell you how to do that. Facebook has a number of articles on how to do that. How do I add a donate button to my page or my charity's Facebook page? There's a bunch of great articles on how to do that. You can also look right inside Wirecast. So if you actually go to the output settings, this feature is only available in Wirecast 11 or later. So if you want to use the donate button within Wirecast, then and set all that up within Wirecast, you need to have Wirecast 11 or later. Again, this will work with pages, not with profiles. So make sure you select a page that is available. And in this case, I'm not going to do a verified page. I don't think you need to be verified. You just need to have permission and applied. But let's go here to our advanced setting. I'm going to just do donate button. So title and description. Go to the advanced options. And here you'll see the show donate button and the Facebook charity ID. So if you have questions about where to apply, you can click this question mark link, and this will take you to donations.fb.com. And this is where you can sign up to get your own donate button from Facebook. So make sure you get notified. To get started, your organization's page needs to be categorized as nonprofit, right? So you need to already have a nonprofit page available to you. So just keep that in mind. And then once you've created the page and you sign up, you get permission, you will get a Facebook charity ID number that you can enter in here. It's typically a 17-digit code or number. And actually I have one here, which probably won't work because my page is not yet verified, but let's just go to, and I'm going to grab this. This I think is a charity number. We're going to click show donation button. We're going to enter the number, hit OK. And of course, if you're going to do this, make sure you've got permission and you are you kind of let the charity know that you're working with them or you already have a verified thing. Hit create and hit OK and hit stream. And again, we're going to use our one-click trick to go to the broadcast. And if your page is verified to receive donations, you'll actually see a donate button appear sort of below here. So sort of where you see this boost, where you see that boost button, you'll actually see a button for donate. And let's just go to home. Let's go one more time here. Make sure that I'm streaming live. Yeah, so this would appear right here if you were seeing it. And it would actually have the name of the charity with a little banner and all that stuff. You won't see anything appear until you've been approved for Facebook Live donations. So I'll do maybe another demo of this after I'm actually working with Facebook to hopefully get approval to sort of demo this and show you guys how it works. But you can actually, if you have a church or a nonprofit, you can apply now at donations.fb.com. And once you've been approved, you can test this out really easily. They'll give you that digit code or that number, that charity ID number that's specific to you. And then once your page has permission, those two work together to create a donate button for you on any of your live stream or posts that you want to show the donate button on. So it's a great way to raise money for your favorite charity or cause or anything like that. And that's it, you guys. That is our sort of Facebook. Now, the last thing I did mention I would talk about was Facebook tallies, comments, and likes. This is a way to just see who's watching and how many sort of comments or likes that you're getting. So the way you do that is in your preferences. you'll see show number of viewers on Facebook, YouTube, etc. So this box just needs to be checked. Once that's checked, you should be able to see who's watching. So right here, I know it's tiny, but you see this little icon, icon, and it says a 1 next to it. That's actually showing how many people are currently watching my stream. I can go back to, say, here and leave a comment. I can do a like, and then I can do a comment, and you'll see other things will start to appear in Wirecast. So like, great live stream. And then we have a comment. So here you see my little like button appeared. So I've got 1 like, I've got 1 viewer, I've got 1 comment. Boom, we are just crushing it with this live stream. So this is a great way just to see if your stream is live, if people are engaging with it. It's just a quick way to keep a tally of what's going on in the background. It's not going to actually give you what's being said, with the exception of the likes and hearts and all that stuff, actually. So if we change our like comment to, say, angry, I hate this live stream, it's so bad, this should change our sort of thumbs up to maybe an unhappy face. Let's see if that does that in time. It takes a little moment to update. There it is. There's our angry guy. So it's a cool way to keep an eye on your sort of Facebook live streams and what's going on your outputs. All right, so lots to cover today. We went over a ton. I hope this was useful for you guys. It was all about Facebook Live. We dedicated the whole show to it, and hopefully now you can be an expert on everything that Wirecast can do with Facebook Live. And guess what? We've got more coming. So I'll be covering polling and some other stuff that is just around the corner. So stay tuned for more content around Facebook Live and everything that Wirecast Live integrates with. I honestly think that Wirecast is one of the deepest, most complete integrations with Facebook. Did I say Wirecast Live? That I honestly think that Wirecast is one of the deepest and most well-integrated third-party softwares with Facebook Live out there today, bar none. I think it's hard to find other software that is sort of this deeply sort of connected with the Facebook Live API. So hopefully take advantage of that, of all the work that our developers have done over the past 2 years, and use this to really get the most out of your Facebook Live streams. And let us know how you are using the little bells and whistles and integrations inside of Wirecast. I'd love to find out. That is our show for today. I would like to thank all of you for tuning in, asking questions. You can see some really good conversations going on there in the chat. I want to say thanks to our partners who make this show possible. They send us equipment and licenses and all kinds of good stuff we get to use on this show. We also would like to remind you that if you want to get more Wirecast Live, you should sign up to get notified of our upcoming guests and shows. In your email, you can go to telestream.net/Wirecastlive, and we will send you an email with the upcoming guests and shows. And then finally, I just want to remind you, next week we will be interviewing Jimmy Young on broadcast coaching and sort of broadcast tips on how to improve your presence on camera and your broadcasting personality, what you can do. There's actually a whole science to it, and it can be practiced. And then following that, on the 20th, I believe, we are going to have a Christmas or holiday special. So it's going to be a holiday bake-off special, and we will close out our season for that. So thanks, and we hope to see you guys for all of those shows. And if we have time, I'll grab one last question here from Andre. How can I promote a scheduled Facebook live stream? Well, you should schedule it ahead of time and then grab the link to the post that has the scheduled, and then you should promote the heck out of that. Make other advertisements around it, put banners, do videos on it, put links on YouTube for it. Wherever you think your audience is, you should promote it. It's a great way to get the link out there and tell people when you have a stream that's upcoming. You can also boost it, I believe. You can take out ads against it. There's certain things you can do to promote within Facebook. So lots you can do there. All right, with that, Thanks for watching, you guys. Eric says, great show. Eric, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad you liked it and you found it helpful. We'll be doing more content on Facebook and Facebook Live, and I will see you guys next week when we are interviewing Jimmy Young and how to be a better broadcaster. So stick around for that one next week. We'll see you then. This has been another episode of Wirecast Live. Thanks to the team in the background, Deborah Lee and Trevor, for kicking butt, and we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.